Imagine Earth 234 million years ago during the Triassic period. The world was unrecognizable, alien, harsh, and unforgiving. The continents we know today were nowhere to be found. Instead, a single, immense landmass stretched from pole to pole, surrounded by a vast, endless ocean. All land was fused into one supercontinent, Pangaea. This colossal continent was so large that its center was isolated from the moderating effects of the sea, creating extreme climates and vast, inhospitable regions. The heart of Pangaea was a vast, scorching desert, harsher than any desert today. Temperatures soared, and the sun beat down relentlessly, turning the land into a furnace by day and a freezing wasteland by night. Water was scarce, and survival was a daily struggle. Rivers and lakes were few and far between, often drying up completely for months at a time. Only the hardiest plants and animals could endure such extremes. Mega monsoons battered the coast, unleashing torrents of rain and violent storms. But the interior remained bone dry, shielded by towering mountains that blocked the life-giving moisture from reaching the heart of the continent. Only the toughest creatures survived. Pig-like dicynodonts dug for roots, using their powerful jaws to unearth hidden food beneath the parched soil. These ancient survivors were built for endurance, able to go days without water. And beaked rhinoceros munched tough plants, their specialized teeth perfect for grinding the fibrous, drought-resistant vegetation that dotted the landscape. Rivers and lakes, when they existed, were ruled by giant amphibians and early crocodile relatives. These ancient predators lurked in the shadows, waiting for the rare rains to fill their watery domains. Dinosaurs existed, but they were small and rare, overshadowed by stranger beasts. The dominant creatures of this era were unlike anything alive today, odd, formidable, and perfectly adapted to their brutal world. This was a world balanced on the edge of change. The silence of the deserts was broken only by the howling wind and the distant rumble of storms. Life had adapted to the relentless heat and drought, thriving in deserts and seasonal rains. Every creature, plant, and ecosystem was locked in a constant battle for survival, evolving ingenious ways to endure the extremes. But deep underground, powerful forces were building. Magma churned beneath the crust, and the land itself was restless, waiting for the moment to unleash its fury. The planet was about to transform in a way no living thing had ever seen. Tension simmered beneath the surface, hinting at the cataclysm to come. The creatures of Pangaea had no idea their world was about to be upended. They went about their lives, oblivious to the disaster looming on the horizon. Soon, an event would reshape the land, the climate, and the fate of all life. The very fabric of the world was about to be torn apart, setting the stage for a new era. The stage was set for a cataclysm that would change everything. The world was holding its breath, waiting for the great rain to begin. The great change began with fire, a force both destructive and transformative, shaping the fate of the planet in ways unimaginable. Along what's now North America's west coast, a vast volcanic region known as Rangelia erupted for thousands of years, spewing molten rock and ash across the land. These eruptions were not isolated events, but a relentless onslaught that would alter the course of Earth's history. Rivers of lava buried the land, creating new landscapes while destroying old ones. And thick clouds of ash blotted out the sun, plunging the world into darkness. These eruptions released staggering amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, trapping heat in the atmosphere and setting off a chain reaction of climate change. The planet's temperature soared by up to 8 degrees Celsius, an astonishing leap that pushed ecosystems to their limits and forced life to adapt or perish. Polar ice melted at an unprecedented rate, sea levels rose, and deserts expanded, making vast regions of the planet even more inhospitable than before. The climate's delicate balance shattered under the relentless assault of volcanic activity, leaving the world teetering on the edge of chaos. The world was heating up fast, and every living thing felt the pressure of this new, harsher reality. The extra warmth supercharged the water cycle, causing more water to evaporate from the oceans and fueling dramatic changes in the atmosphere. Oceans evaporated more water than ever before, thickening the air with humidity and setting the stage for storms of unprecedented intensity. Clouds grew heavy and dark, blanketing the sky and making the atmosphere stifling, as if the world itself was holding its breath. The dry Triassic world, long accustomed to drought, was about to be drowned in relentless, life-altering rain. The transformation would be sudden, violent, and global, storms sweeping across continents, reshaping the land and the fate of every creature. The age of endless drought was ending, and a new era, one of water, growth, and dramatic change, was about to begin. Then, the rain began, and it didn't stop. Day after day, week after week, the skies opened and poured their endless burden onto the land. The world was caught in a storm with no end in sight, as if the very heavens themselves had decided to wash the planet clean. For nearly 2 million years, Earth endured the Carnian Pluvial episode, a relentless, world-changing deluge. Deserts vanished beneath floods, once barren landscapes were swallowed by rising waters. Rivers overflowed their banks and lakes appeared where none had existed before. Storms of unimaginable power swept the land, thunder cracked across the sky, and lightning illuminated the endless sheets of rain. The air was thick with the roar of water and the electric energy of constant storms. Rivers carved deep canyons, stripping away ancient rock. Torrents of water reshaped the land, eroding mountains and carrying away the old world, grain by grain, stone by stone. The landscape transformed from dusty red to lush green and blue. Where once there was only parched earth, now forests and wetlands flourished, painting the world in vibrant new colors. Ferns and strange trees flourished in the new waterlogged world. Plants that had never thrived before now grew in abundance, their leaves glistening with constant moisture, their roots anchored in deep, soggy soil. Peat forests spread, and the air dripped with moisture. Swamps and bogs became common and the ground itself seemed to sweat with the weight of so much water. Amber deposits from this time show forests oozed resin, quickly buried in wet soil. Trees, stressed by the endless damp, released sticky sap that would one day become golden time capsules of this ancient world. The abundance of amber is proof. Rain far outpaced evaporation. The ground was so saturated that even the resin could not escape, preserved for millions of years beneath layers of wet earth. The world became a greenhouse, teeming with new life. Plants and animals adapted to the wet, thriving in the warmth and humidity, evolving in ways never seen before. The old arid world was gone, washed away by endless rain. The transformation was total, and nothing would ever be the same again. This was a planet remade by water. The rain changed everything, shaping the course of life on Earth and setting the stage for the world as we know it today. The rain's impact reached the oceans, triggering disaster. Triassic seas teemed with life, reefs, conodonts, ammonoids, and more. Torrents of fresh water poured in, diluting the salt and disrupting marine life. Many sea creatures couldn't survive the sudden change in salinity. Mud and sediment from eroding land choked the water, blocking sunlight. Reefs collapsed, smothered by mud. Their builders starved for light and nutrients. This was a mass extinction in the oceans, often overlooked but devastating. Conodonts, ammonoids, and reef builders vanished in huge numbers. The seas became emptier, less diverse. A world reset beneath the waves. The rain had rewritten the rules of life in the ocean. The marine world would never be the same. The extinction beneath the waves mirrored the chaos on land. On land, the rain spelled doom for the old rulers. Rhynchosaurs and dacinodonts, once dominant herbivores, couldn't adapt to the new lush vegetation. Their specialized diets failed them as ferns and conifers replaced tough, dry plants. Starvation and extinction followed. Entire families vanished. Dacinodonts, survivors of past crises, now dwindled as their world changed too quickly. The collapse of these giants left a gaping hole in the ecosystem. Suddenly, vast new plant life had no large animals to eat it. The extinction of the old was also an opportunity. The stage was set for new creatures to rise. The end of one dynasty was the beginning of another. Before the rain, dinosaurs were small and rare. The extinction of their competitors changed everything. With rhynchosaurs and dacinodonts gone, dinosaurs seized the moment. They adapted quickly to the lush, wet world, growing larger and more diverse. Fossils from Argentina show a sudden explosion in dinosaur size and variety. Herrerasaurus, Eoraptor, and others emerged as powerful new predators and herbivores. Dinosaurs became the dominant force, no longer background players. The Carnian Pluvial episode was their turning point. Soon, giants like Lesomsaurus appeared, starting the march toward the Age of Titans. The rain had cleared the way. Dinosaurs were now poised to rule for the next 150 million years. The rain didn't just change animals, it transformed the plant world. Drought-resistant plants died out, replaced by ferns, conifers, and benedictales. Ferns spread rapidly, forming dense undergrowth in the new forests. Conifers grew tall, creating vast, wet woodlands. Benedictales, with their strange, flower-like structures, thrived in the humid climate. The land turned deep green, covered in jungles and swamps. Plants grew faster and bigger, fueled by rain and carbon dioxide. These forests absorbed huge amounts of CO2, helping stabilize the climate. Over time, buried plant matter formed the coal deposits we find today. This green revolution set the stage for the rise of dinosaurs. The world was now a paradise for life. Dinosaurs weren't the only winners in this new world. Etosaurs, armored plant-eating relatives of crocodiles, thrived in the lush landscape. In the water, phytosaurs became top predators, ruling the expanded rivers and swamps. The first true turtles appeared, their shells perfect for a world full of new threats. Early crocodilomorphs began to diversify, setting the stage for modern crocodiles. Even land predators evolved. Rauisuchians, some growing to monstrous sizes, hunted the new herbivores. The food web grew more complex, supporting bigger and more diverse animals. The Carnian Pluvial episode was a cradle of evolution for many groups. New ecosystems flourished, teeming with life. The wet world was a land of opportunity. Evolution was in overdrive. Eventually, the volcanic eruptions ceased, and the rain ended. The world slowly dried out, but it was forever changed. The old rulers were gone, new dynasties had taken over. Marine life rebuilt with new reef builders and plankton. On land, dinosaurs, etosaurs, phytosaurs, turtles and crocodiles now dominated. The Carnian Pluvial episode was a forgotten extinction and a great reset. It cleared away the old world and created the perfect conditions for the age of dinosaurs. Without this 2 million-year reign, dinosaurs might have remained small and rare. Instead, they became giants, shaping the next 150 million years. The reign's legacy was a world transformed. The future belonged to the new rulers. The greatest storm in Earth's history had set the stage for the giants to come.